Hello, divine creations, divine marvels, children of God. Thank you so much for dropping by this video. Um, yeah, for better or for worse. Sometimes I think it's for better. Sometimes I think it's for worse. I've recently gotten in some dialogues and debates with people online over eternal damnation or universal salvation. And what I've come to realize is that what it comes down to is meeting insanity with sanity. The idea of eternal hell is insane. Absolutely insane, cruel, mean, unjust beyond words. And yet people feel compelled to believe it because of mistranslations of the Bible. And so, what do you do in that situation? What do you do when someone is saying God is love and God is all the person who I'm going to share a little bit about? I won't mention their name, of course, but this person is declaring God is all good and God is going to torture people forever. Like God is all good. You can trust in him, and he's going to torture people forever. Like you're dealing with someone who has insane beliefs. And so how to meet that? I don't know that I have the answer, but I know for myself, it's been it has been and continues to be very healing to meet insanity with sanity and say, no, that's not true. Like maybe hell is eternal. I don't know. I don't believe so. But if hell is eternal, then God is evil and God is not love. And it's been very healing. So I'm going to share a little bit from what this person wrote. And the person wrote, "Here's what I know to be true. Jesus is kindness itself. With me, he shows me his love in so many ways. I have experienced his love. I know it's real. It's as real to me as the love of my husband." And that's so beautiful. I've experienced the love of Christ, and it's beyond words. And just even thinking about it, I start to feel it. So very beautiful. Next, the person wrote, "People willingly choose to live apart from God. Such a person would not enjoy heaven very much now, would they? I believe that everyone who will be happy there will be there." Oh my God. So let's break this down. This is a common argument. People choose eternal hell. People choose eternal suffering. So let's really sit with that for a moment. Because it's easy to say it, but no one's really willing to sit with it, to think about it, and to feel it. And actually, to this person, I gave them a video of animals being tortured. And I asked them to watch this video and then please tell me that that to imagine that being done to millions, more like billions of people forever, and then to come at me and say, yes, God is good. And this person couldn't do that, which is very telling. The last person who I did this to said, I don't want to look at videos of animals being tortured. I love animals, but apparently they hate people. So it's very easy. And see, part of what we're dealing with is literally a mental cult, right? Once you buy into one of the ideas, then you're trapped in this loop. And on a certain level, people know it's not true. Like this person knows that it's absurd. No one would choose, if anyone was clearly offered the choice, no one would choose eternal hell. So that would mean one of two things, is that the person isn't clearly offered a choice and they just kind of unknowingly choose eternal hell, which is horrific. With consequences like that, if God is just and good and trustworthy, then someone would need to be clearly shown their choice. But the second implication is, what if someone said, yes, I choose eternal hell? Would God allow that? Like if you were a parent and your child said, if your child said to you, you know, I'm going to go to this, like there's this hospital. And once you check into this hospital, you can never leave. And in this hospital, what they do is they torture you all day and all night, but they keep you alive. They like keep you alive for as long as possible, hopefully like 60 or 70 years. And, uh, and then, so they're going to torture me they're going to maximize my torture for the rest of my life until I die in misery and agony. If you were a parent, and again, once you check into this hospital, you can never check out. If you were a parent, if I was a parent and my child said that, I would kidnap my child, lock them up, and then I would hire counselors and I would talk to them and I would do everything in my power to keep them from doing that because that is sick. My child is sick. They need therapy. They don't need torture. They need therapy, help, and healing. And so what this person, and not just this person, because this poor person has literally been taught insanity and then literally taken insanity on. So, um, so this is a message of an untrustworthy God, of a God who tortures sick people, like tortures insane people. This is, think about someone who has a mental disability, like an extreme mental disability, extreme autism, extreme mental retardation. And then, getting into heaven in this view, the view that this person is presenting, getting into heaven is then like an intelligence test. So let's say someone has this extreme mental difficulty and then they die, and God is like, no, you're not smart enough. Eternal hell. That's basically what we're talking about. That's basically what this person is saying. The last thing that this person says is, we are told of two possible ends for people. As much as I think from saying it, it's still true that God will respect a person's choice not to be in fellowship with him. And see, that's the God who gives up. That's the parent. That's the parent who's like, sure, you want to go be tortured forever? Okay, I'm fine with that. But it's 10 times worse with God because God is eternal and omniscient and omnipotent. So the idea of God giving up on a person is like the worst horror story forever. And so here's how the person concludes. Do I hope and pray that God will relent and allow these souls to truly die? So, I mean, it truly is eternal torture versus annihilation. Annihilation is much kinder, let's face it. But luckily, there was this beautiful man named Jesus who came and gave us another message that, for example, if I be lifted up, I will raise all men to me. And there are literally hundreds of verses in the Bible that offer a completely different declaration that actually is good news, that God will be all in all, that death will be no more, that God will wipe away all tears, that every name, every knee will bow, and every tongue will proclaim, even those under the earth, which you can interpret as those who are dead and in the grave, or you can interpret as those who are in Sheol or Gehenna or Hades. The word hell, by the way, is not in the Greek or the Hebrew. Complete mistranslation. That every tongue will confess, every knee will bow. That's some good news. So part of me doing these videos is just my own healing process. Because let's face it, eternal hell is the scariest, nastiness, or annihilation. Like, no, you don't pass the intelligence test. Zap, and you're gone forever. The scariest thing, the scariest horror story ever invented by human beings. So hope this is helpful to some others. Thank you so much to the person who wrote these words. Every time I face insanity and respond with sanity and faith, my faith increases, and I hope it's a benefit to those who drop by this channel and my writings. And below, you'll find a link to my writings on Christian Universalism. And yeah, I wish everyone a God-filled day. Take care, dear ones. Big love.